Lažna uzbuna. Činjenice su tvoje saveznice. Ladies and gentlemen, all of you dedicated truth seekers around the scattered around the flat earth, welcome to your favorite fact-checking show, The False Alarm. Emma.
Oh yeah, it's a false alarm in English.
Really? Yeah. You didn't know
I
that?
never thought about it.
Never thought it.
Yeah, this is the first time that we go in English, I think.
But probably not the last.
No.
So, Emma, out of the blue, but not just like that, I'm speaking English. Why? Am I losing my Croatian mojo, or it's because we have an international guest?
I don't know for you, Mojo, but we have a guest from Slovenia. That's why we are in English now.
Yeah, really, of course. Yeah. Well, our today guest is Žana Erznožnik. She's a journalist and editor at Ostro.si, or maybe OŠTRO.si. CSI,
Ostro.si.
Yeah. As well, the editor of the Razotkrivanje.si or Razotkrivanje.CSI.
No, Razkrinkavanje.
Razkrinkavanje.si.
Hi.
Okay. Hi, Žana. How are you?
I'm doing great. And you?
Well, so far so good.
Yeah.
And you, Emma?
I don't know. I'm great.
I'm sure you have some questions.
Yes, I always have some
For me
questions.
or for Žana?
For Žana, but we will see.
Okay, then
maybe for you.
I can go to coffee and come back later.
Yeah, bring me one, yeah.
Okay, bye.
Žana, let's go with the first question. We would like to hear something about your projects, about Ostro.si, yeah? And Razkrinkavanje.si.
Yes. Thanks. Ostro is an NGO in Slovenia. We focus on investigative journalism, on also fact-checking. So Razkrinkavanje.si, razkrinkavanje.si.
Like .si.
It's our fact-checking project that I lead. And it's not only about fact-checking. It's also about
spreading false informations. No,
that's what we're fighting against. But we are mentoring, we're nurturing future generations of investigative journalists. So most of our fact-checkers are students of journalism or students of other stuff. And we mentor them, and after some time they can also start investigating. And for example, I came to Ostro as a student. I was working on fact-checking, and now I'm editor of this project, and also do investigations. So this is what we're trying to do at Razkrinkavanje, and we even got an award for social innovation, Social Marie, last year for
congratulations,
incubator of investigative journalists. Yeah.
Okay, so you're not only fact-checking portal. You are dealing with education, investigative journalism, and stuff like that.
Yes. Fact-checking is just part of what we do. It's important part, also because every investigative story that we publish is internally fact-checked before we publish it. Mm-hmm. So we don't only fact-check other media, other politicians. We also fact-check ourselves, and it's really important to us.
How do you fact-check yourself? That's a very interesting question.
So, for example, if we have a story, there's a document, and for every single little statement, the author has to give proof. Mm-hmm. So, for example, if someone wrote Robert Golob said on February 21st that we would check, is it really Robert Golopin or Robert Golopčić? Has he really said that on this day? And you have to have proof of what he said. This is a really basic example, but there's a document with 200 proofs, and internal fact checker will go through them and ask questions to the author if needed, and like we make sure that every word that we publish is fact-checked, and we have proof for it.
Great.
It's double fact-checking.
Yeah, it's double fact-checking, yeah.
With all the redundancy. Okay, so do you collaborate with other fact-checking organizations in your region and in Europe and maybe globally or on a galactical scale?
On a galactical, not yet. I hope soon. But we're signatories of IFCN, so International Fact-Checking Network Code of Practice, which means that every year, like they look into our report and our work to see if we actually are working in a way that we should, so that we are following this code of practice. And it's about transparency, being politically unbiased, following fact-checking methodology, and so on and so on.
It's a kind of a license or something like that.
Kind of. And because of that, we are able to also be like Meta's partners in fact-checking. But we're also part of EFCSN. So this is European Network of Fact-Checkers, and also ADMO, so Adriatic.
Yeah, we know. We had guests from ADMO before, yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So you know
I think twice. We
it.
had two projects here in our show, ADMO's.
And you
Great.
conduct sort of education, like, for example, where we meet you in Zagreb. These workshops, actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's also what we do. It's not like the main focus, but we also do media literacy or fact-checking workshops or education. Right now, we are in the end of a great project, in my opinion, with Slovenian NGO PINA, where we developed a board game for children to learn about media literacy, about disinformation.
Wow.
I actually have it here. Like this is
full fake. It says full fake.
Full fake, yeah. The project is called Full Fake, and it's a board game we developed for kids, for teenagers, with disinformation, and it's like played similar to Enka. Do you call it Enka?
I don't know what it is.
Enka.
Uno.
Uno. Yeah.
Uno.
Yeah, we know Uno. Yeah.
So it's similar.
It's a very good idea to
like Uno, but they learn about disinformation and why something is fake, and I don't know what is the role of journalists or influencers in the public space and so on. And they, like, children are really happy with it. Also schools, we had to print many more. So it's a really good project where we try to do media literacy in a fun and engaging way.
So your game is actually wanted in schools. Kids are really reacting good, huh?
So do maybe consider to develop that game from board game to, I don't know, sort of computer game or something?
I mean, there were ideas, but there is currently no money for it. So,
okay, one step at a time. First, you're gonna sell this board game, and then when you collect some money,
maybe,
yeah. We were thinking about prolonging the project and making something more, maybe even translating the game or making it more international.
That's a good idea. For example, here in Croatia, we would like to have it, really. I think it would be also a good interest in schools, yeah.
Yeah, especially
you're aiming. I know you're aiming to be translator of the game, yeah.
No. I'm just imagining that kids would like to.
I'm just kidding him.
It's a good combination of the media literacy education and play. This is for little kids or older ones.
I mean, it's meant for
family
from 10 on.
So
okay. Older kids,
it's the middle elementary school, let's say.
Yeah. And for high school also. And I don't know how it's in schools in Croatia, but in Slovenia, there is no like media literacy school subject that.
Yeah, also here, yeah.
We don't have sort of
no, there is
media literacy. Not in school. We have just
it's not a subject like maths or something like that. We have it is present in the education, but not like a subject, you know.
And you mean like curriculum in a school?
Yeah, I think it is in a curriculum, but not. It's not a subject. We don't have like political education or something like that. Although it would be good to have it, like a civil society education, media literacy, it's in other subjects, included in other subjects in school. But it is there, okay. Yeah, it is there.
Yeah, I mean, it's similar in Slovenia. I think it's a few hours in high school, but it's like teachers that have to do it don't have education on it. And I think some are lost. So they were really happy to get this game and like a booklet on how to teach media literacy. So I think we've done something good with this.
Yeah, it's a really good project. But let's go back to fact checking in Slovenia. We would like to know, for example, what are currently the biggest sources of disinformation or misinformation in Slovenia, and what are some typical fake news stories and false narratives spread in your country?
Okay. I'm always like, oh my God, I will get so much hate for saying this. But it's just true. According to like what we do for more than 5 years, one of the main disinformation sources is our biggest opposition party, SDS, and not just them, especially their like media portals, people on social media that are like religiously just republishing everything that is in the interest of this party. And I mean, sometimes it's manipulation, so or they're saying something that is true but omitting something else that is important for the context, and sometimes it's just straight fake news, disinformation. So this is like one huge source, but there's also like civil society groups with passions about health, like anti-vaxxers or something like that. They're mostly on social media like Facebook or Rumble or X or something like that. What else? And then there's things like that are changing through time. So last summer everything was about anti-LGBTQ plus, and it was coming, I think, mostly from American disinformation sources and just being translated and reused in Slovenia. Then it was about how migrants are really dangerous and every rape that happens is by migrants or something like that. And right now, the whole debate is actually about us, or they are wanting it to be about us. So it's about freedom of speech, how we don't have it in Slovenia. They're stating that we are censoring people and deleting people from Facebook and stuff like that. And it's also connected to new media law that was proposed in the parliament. After 20 years, we have a really old media law that is far from perfect. It has
outdated.
It needs to be updated, and the proposed law updates some things, but it's still like there are pretty bad things also in it. But there's a whole disinformation campaign stating that it will be censorship, that it will I don't know, make this may make influencers not being able to work, that influencers will have the same rules as media, which is not true, that only media that are working in the interest of the current government will be allowed to work. So it's like a lot of disinformation going around that in Slovenia in like these past 2 months. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same here, yeah.
Recently, it's quite different. Zuckerberg cut off all this fact-checking.
Yeah, we wanted to ask you that since Facebook announced that they will no longer fact-check anything on Meta, how was your reaction in Slovenia?
I mean, he said that the fact-checking project will not be sorry, I will start this again because I know that we're not live. So he said that he will ban fact checkers in US. So right now they just banned, or in March, I think with March they start banning in USA.
Only in USA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
but we don't know what is going to happen. Yeah. But
yeah,
so
we don't
far,
know. I
yeah.
mean, if we listen to what he said in the video and the whole narrative about fact-checking from Meta that turned totally, I believe that they are planning to also cancel fact-checking in Europe, I don't know, next year or something like that. But yeah, we don't know what will happen.
Yeah, but what's general opinion among media in Slovenia? Because here we were like shocked. Everyone, we couldn't believe that it just.
You better believe it.
Everything changed after, like, one day after Trump came into power. So
and as we're speaking, things are changing.
Yeah, and every morning,
how fast.
Every morning we have
everything
new surprises, like a lot of surprises to read on media outlets. So I just wanted to see like how you reacted in Slovenia on that, like changing things in America, let's say.
LAŽNA UZBUNA.
Our first reaction was shock. We were not expecting that. Like just a few weeks earlier, I was in a meeting with a person that works with fact checkers from Meta, and they were all like happy with our work. Previously, they never had like comments about us being politically biased or making mistakes. These are the things that Mark Zuckerberg said that we were doing, and that's why they decided to ban fact checkers. Mm-hmm. And I believe that if this was honest, they would talk to us before, because like we're their partners. We can talk about mistakes if they happen. So we were just shocked. Now that like some time has passed, I also think that it is just a transparent political decision, but looking from like business perspective, I'm not sure that it's a good decision, because like they said that they will introduce community notes. And
what are exactly community notes?
Yeah, community notes, like right now, they didn't publish any more information about how it would look like, only that it would be similar to how Elon Musk's X community notes look like. So to my understanding, that means that everyone can be fact checker, can like provide some additional context or information to posts on social media, and it showed like a note, so they just write their opinion or fact under social media posts. And what I think about that is that if you say that fact checkers are too politically biased, that there are too many mistakes, I mean, fact checkers who do that, who worked for Meta, are IFCN Code of Practice signatories, and we have to prove like how we do our work and that we do it ethically and objectively and so on and so on. And we're professionals. And it's hard to believe that someone who's not professional will do a better job at this. And also, like, there was a investigation by Maldita, by a Spanish NGO who also does fact-checking, where they analyzed a big number. I don't know, it's, I think, more than 10,000 community notes on X. And they found out that a majority of these community notes actually just sources fact checks. So they just republish fact checks, and it's like nothing new. And also another, I think, Pointers report found that people trust fact checkers more than community notes. So to me, it's like, why would you go from something that is
works,
at least somehow trustworthy to something that is less trustworthy? I don't know. And I also think that it's in some kind of stealing our work. If community notes will just be republishing fact checks, I mean, it's
it's stealing your work. Yeah, it's stealing your work. In fact, yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's see what is going to happen in Europe. We don't know yet. But things are rapidly changing, and that's obvious, so we can expect everything, in fact.
Okay, in light of that, how do you see the future of fact-checking? Not only in Slovenia, but globally.
Yeah, that's a hard question. I believe that it will be more and more important with, like, what's happening on social media, what's happening with AI, what's happening with media literacy of people. I mean, I know we always talk about young people, how they don't know what is true or not, or something like that. But I also think that older generations that were not raised with these digital technologies, social media, and so on, have a big problem in like telling what is opinion and what is fact and what is, I don't know, trusted source and what not. So I think that fact checking will be even more important in future, but I also think that we will have to be even more like tech forward, open to new tools, to work together internationally, because a lot of this information like comes from America to Slovenia or from Serbia to Slovenia, so
it's imported.
Yeah, it's basically imported. So if someone in other country have already fact-checked it, it would be great if like we could just see that and like inform people about it, instead of using our sources to do something that has already been done. Instead, we should like focus on, I don't know, this information that is not important, imported, and comes from Slovenia. Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway, but if this trend continues, I mean globally, in some dystopian vision, I don't know, maybe a couple of years, the fact checkers will be outlawed. And believe,
Don't say it.
Or something like that.
Like partisans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
As we said, we'll see.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask her something else. Let's say that everything is okay and everything will be okay. I wanted to ask what challenges you face while fact-checking information in Slovenia. You mentioned before that you are a subject of some hate speech and some campaigns.
Yeah.
Some campaigns. So did you have I don't know, maybe some threats, intimidation cases, or something like that? What are the challenges of your work?
Yeah, I mean, we are getting threats and not nice comments and so on all the time. I think it was about 2 years ago. We got 10 members of our team 5 students and 5 like senior journalists got an email from a civil society group stating that we censored them on Facebook and that we should uncensor them in 10 or 8 days, and that they would have our personal information and they know where they live, and if we don't uncensor them, they will visit us and we will not live nicely anymore.
Oh my God.
So it was a scary threat, and what's the worst is that we didn't know what they are talking about.
You didn't even know what was the topic.
Yeah. And like we don't have technical option to censor or block or delete anything from Facebook. This is a common like misunderstanding. So we didn't know what they are talking about. So we were unable to do what they.
Maybe even they don't know what they are talking about.
Yeah.
That's usually the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that because I looked into this group and I don't remember, I think it was something about vaccination or something. And I believe that Facebook might delete it or something, but we had nothing to do with it. And what's the worst is that we reported this to the police. And at the end, the prosecutor's office said that the threat is not direct enough.
Like not serious.
Not serious enough. Yeah.
It's just theoretical, this threat. It's not physical.
Yeah.
So they dismiss it.
They said that they will visit us, but they said that they will visit us. That they will visit us, and not that they will visit us and kill us with this specific gun.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's it's not specific enough.
Yeah.
So how it ended?
It ended with that. And with feeling like we're not safe and that the police or the government, whatever, the country will not help us if something happens.
No, that's
it's a bad feeling, right?
Yeah. It's really not good. Yeah.
But this was like 2 years ago, and now at the end of this year, not at the end. At the beginning of this year, so after this whole Meta banning fact-checking came out, it got even worse. We got, I don't know, maybe 10 threats via emails. We've got threats on social media telling us to go to Gulag, to leave the country before they make us leave. They said that the knives are sharpened. Like terrible things, and yeah, it's not fun, especially knowing that like some political parties are happy with this kind of things, and their social media posts and this media connected to them are actually spreading this disinformation that we are the ones who are censoring people on Facebook and that blah, 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 blah. So they're actually fueling this hate towards us.
Yeah, now it's like a narrative also present here in Croatia that fact-checkers are in fact censors, the main censors. So it's also present in Croatia as well, after they announced the news.
Probably it's, worldwide trend.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that what Zuckerberg said in the video, like that he basically threw us under the bus because he told lies about what fact-checkers do. He mixed the moderation that Meta does with what fact-checkers do, and people, of course, believed him or,
but it's a campaign, in fact.
Things change, A couple of years ago, all these big tech companies are actually big critics of, for example, Trump, etc., and now they all align with him,
Yeah, like over the night,
Yeah, and I mean, like if it was a disinformation campaign about someone else, I would be like, okay, at least we can fact check this and explain to people how this is not true. But because we are actually following our code of practice, this would be the
you
we
cannot do it.
Yeah,
You cannot do it because it's a conflict of interest.
Yeah. That's what I was searching for. So because of conflict of interest, we're unable to fact check this. Of course, we then publish videos and like trying to explain ourselves, but it's just a bad situation because
Yeah, is there any other maybe NGO or media or fact checker in Slovenia that could maybe support you or help you in this situation?
I mean, there is not other fact checking media. There's no one else in Slovenia really doing it like in a way that we do it. But how is it? So Slovene journalistic. Oh my God, I have to say.
Društvo novinarjev Slovenije. Okay, they are supportive. Okay, that's expected. That we expect them to do it. Yeah,
if they are not supportive,
so they
then
published a statement, and then after they did it, other media also like published what they said and our warnings about what's happening. But before that, no one really stood up for us.
Yeah. So it's not really it's a bad situation, and also being alone in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're not alone because similar things are happening to other fact checkers. So at least like we stand with each other. But I just want to do my job. But for the last 2 months, I felt like half of the time I was using for explaining what is not true, for giving interviews, which of course is good. So we have a chance to talk about it, but we have to deal with that instead of just doing our jobs primarily. So
Do you have maybe the feeling in this so-called new world disorder, which is happening as we are speaking, that the things are going to deteriorate more badly?
I'm not familiar with this new world disorder. Is this like?
No, I mean Trump and like all of the sudden fake news and all these theories are basically like official policy.
I mean, I think it's not the first time that it happened. It happened in other countries, but I guess America is bigger and has more power globally than some other countries that are experiencing this for many years. So it's not looking good. But let's say that I'm kind of staying hopeful that something will happen, at least in European Union. We have digital.
But all these social media platforms are basically from the United States.
Yeah, but we have Digital Services Act in European Union, and following this act, these big digital corporations are responsible for everything that is published, including disinformation, and they have to do something about it. So we'll see if something happens, like if European Commission does something about it. There are grounds for that, but we'll see if anything.
Yeah, we have some, let's say, some legal security in European Union. I am also counting on that. Yeah.
Okay.
I hope we're not too naive.
I really hope that we are not naive also. But maybe let's explain in this context what would citizens do now in this, especially in this new situation. Where can they find reliable information? Where should they get information? And how can they protect themselves from these fake news and narratives? What's your suggestion?
I mean, one thing, like the most basic thing would be to not rely on social media, even if you follow actual media and news organizations through social media. Don't just rely on algorithms to show you the most important information of the day that you need. Go to your trusted media news portal and see for yourself, because I think that these algorithms are not transparent enough. And before elections, they decided to downgrade all the political information, and everything that you saw was from influencers, for example. Now they changed it, but there were some speculations that in America, for example, they're only showing political information that is Trump leaning. So I think it's still it's really, really, really important to search for information yourself through Google, through news portals, and not through social media. This is one thing, and another is to just think critically about everything you see, meaning if you read something that you think about, okay, who published this? Whose interest is this? And that doesn't mean
follow
that
the money.
Follow the lead.
Follow the money. And also, I don't mean that if news piece is in interest of some interest group, that this means that it's not true. It might be true. It's just good to have this in the back of your mind while reading something.
Yeah, always search maybe for another source or another opinion or something like
Also
that.
Like in medicine, you're going.
Yeah, like in medicine.
Second opinion.
Yeah, second opinion. Yeah. And especially and especially do not rely on things you see on social media. Yeah.
Yeah.
So walk carefully on the flat earth. That's the...
Walk carefully on flat earth. Okay, that's funny. So that would be all from our side, our questions that we wanted to ask. The situation is not good, as we can see. Maybe you have something else to add on this conversation or some message?
Okay, maybe before we wrap up, maybe if you have to announce some new projects from your organization or something.
Ooh.
Are you planning soon to come to Croatia and give some lectures or something? Workshops?
Actually, we have a EBIF project right now with Ostro Croatia, so our sister center in Croatia.
I see.
And with that project, they opened their own fact-checking project, so it's Razkrinkavanje.hr.
Aha, we will have now Razkrinkavanje.hr.
Yeah, it's already on. It's already live.
It's already live. I didn't know that. Okay.
It is. So you have another fact-checking portal in Croatia.
Great, and we will have another interview.
Yeah. Yes, I just
You
wanted
gave
to
us
suggest.
idea, yeah.
Thank you for idea for one of the next interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Razkrinkavanje.hr.
Great, yeah. So new projects are there already.
Yeah, they are, and we'll also we hope to get some more, but right now I wouldn't talk about them because it's nothing official yet. So yeah.
Great.
So how should we wrap up this? Maybe bless those who live in interesting times, like this Chinese saying.
Yeah.
Or maybe you have something to add.
No, I don't.
Maybe Johnny or
I'm not so optimistic. Don't ask me.
Okay. Okay, Žana, thank you very much for joining our show.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was very interesting, and I'm very sorry that you are facing such hard times now in Slovenia in your work.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And I hope we won't live in such interesting times anymore.
Yeah, I also hope
things get better.
Okay, then we're going to root for the boring times.
Yeah, I want to be bored.
I would prefer that, yeah.
That's a good idea. Okay, thanks again, Žana. And to our listeners and viewers, thank you for joining us. And continue to listen and watch what, Emma?
False alarm.
Yes, and Radio 808.
And Radio 808.
Emisiju financira Europska unija, Next Generation EU. Mišljenja i stavovi izneseni u emisiji ne odražavaju nužno službena stajališta Europske unije ili Europske komisije. Ni Europska unija, ni Europska komisija ne mogu se smatrati odgovornima za njih.